Hello, my name is David Spiegel, and today I want to talk to you about immigration reform involving Arizona and the upcoming presidential election. In 2012, there were approximately 11.2 million undocumented workers in the United States. That totals to 3.6% of our nation's population as a whole. And out of that large number, it is believed that 52% are Mexican, and that is a total of 5.8 million Mexican undocumented workers in the United States. That also does not include the people we have no idea of and who are lost inside the country. Arizona has long been at the center of immigration reform. With an extremely busy border with Mexico to our south, we have often found ourselves covering the news headlines, most likely in negative light. Whether it's because of our seemingly unlawful laws or politically unsavvy politicians, we often find ourselves under an extreme amount of scrutiny. Although immigration has long been at the forefront for presidents, extensively with President Bush and Obama, we have yet to see any major steps taken forward. While President Bush claimed that we're going to clamp down on employers who knowingly break the law, no major laws were able to be passed during his presidency. For President Obama, as he creeps closer and closer to the end of his presidency every day, he also has yet to be able to pass an immigration law through Congress. The extreme amount of sensitivity with the issue, combined with the lack of motivation of Congress to pass one for President Obama, has not led to anything getting through. Because of the inability for our federal government to get anything passed, states have often been leaned upon to find their own laws and ways of dealing with immigration. Because of this, Arizona has often been seen negatively. Most recently, we have been under a flurry of attacks because of SB 1070, a bill which has passed quickly through our state government with little stop. The bill, which many people see to be a violation of people's rights, passed quickly through our government. This bill allows for officers who are creating an arrest to ask for immigration papers and proof of citizenship. The bill is not seen as an ends to means in any ways, but rather to put out some of the problems that have seen with immigration reform. The only positive thing that seems to have come from Bill SB 1070 is its ability to bring immigration back to the forefront of people's minds. Because of the irrationality of the law, it has hindered the farm economy of Arizona in a time when workers were needed drastically. Many farms, slaughterhouses, and meatpacking industries are in need of workers, but because of the laws barring them from entering the country, they are unable to fill their staffs. Even in this time of extreme unemployment in the United States, they are not able to fill their companies with the amount of workers that they need. Although SB 1070 appears to be an awful law, it is the only law that seems to be making any impact, or has been able to be passed at all. Now, as we launch into the next step of our presidential elections, it is important that we think about their stances on illegal immigration. There are numerous people running for office, all of which have talked of illegal immigration and immigration reform, but there are few people who are actually thought of to be contenders. From the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton appears to be the front runner, while from the Republican side, Jeb Bush and Scott Walker appear to be the two fronters, with numerous people behind them on the Republican side. Hillary Clinton, the wife of previous President Bill Clinton, has long held the same stance on immigration. She believes, and I quote, in a path of citizenship for the millions of immigrants living in the United States because it would be impractical to deport them all. However, those that have committed crimes should be deported from the country immediately. Clinton has avoided the issue, though, recently because of the extreme amount of sensitivity that it often has, but this could bring her forward because of the irrationality that Republicans and the extremity that they have towards the issue. Jeb Bush, the frontrunner for the Republican side, who is the son of George Bush, has a more moderate stance than the other Republican runner, Scott Walker. Bush, a former governor of Florida, a state that often deals with immigration, believes that work programs in the United States should be made for these immigrants, although they should not all be given full citizenship. That is something that is more selective. Walker, however, has a little bit less known ideas. He tends to jump from side to side. While he used to be more radical, stating that illegal immigrants receiving citizenship does not make sense, as he gets closer to the election, his opinion is leaning towards the middle. He was recently quoted saying that he does believe in citizenship for illegal immigrants. Over the past 15 years, through our past 2 presidents, we have seen little change when it comes to illegal immigration reform. From this chart, you can see that while illegal immigration is now on the fall, that does not mean that we are making steps forward in illegal immigration reform. The idea is not to remove all the immigrants, but to fund them and move them into our society where they can be helpful and deal with jobs. Arizona has long been at the forefront of this issue. We have made rash decisions when it comes to making laws and passing them, especially when it comes to SB 1070. Although immigration reform often falls behind, it is a boiling pot waiting to boil over. It is something that will need to be addressed by our next president, and if it isn't, will become an even larger issue than it is right now. Throughout my speech, I used many different sources, but these were the main ones. Jenna Johnson from Fox News, Tom Morose from Fox News, Chuck Todd from NBC News. I used excerpts from Immigration Reform for Innovation by Marianne Gable, Amy Scott, author of Employee Benefit Plan Reviews. I quoted The Economist's Fool's Rush and Matthew Enos's Arizona Law Presses issue of immigration reform. When giving my speech, I was asked many different questions, but these were the most significant ones. First, I was asked who were the other hopefuls for the Democratic Party. Although there are other hopefuls to the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton seems to be the only realistic choice and is so far ahead in the polls that she will most likely be chosen. The other 2 are Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Martin O'Malley, who seem to be extremely far behind her. The next question I was asked is how can Congress continue to bar President Obama from passing his immigration law? Although they have done everything they can, soon his law might get through. Although, once it is passed, it can still be barred. Congress gets to handicap the law by determining how its money is spent. With this power, they can obstruct President Obama's law from being effective at all. Next, I was asked when was the last time that a president passed an immigration bill, and that was in 1986 by Ronald Reagan. The problem with that is that it backfired. It created a large industry for illegally sneaking immigrants into the country and slowed down the border with immigrants coming through. It created the construction of people sneaking illegally into the country. Next, I was asked, what did I learn throughout my speech? I learned that it is unrealistic for there to be this much sensitivity when it comes to the topic. As such a great issue, it needs something to be tackled recently, and it's something that is going to need to be addressed shortly before it becomes something too big to handle. Last, I was asked, who do I hope to be elected? Now, while I don't want to share my own opinion, as it might change that of others, all I know is that I want the president who is elected to not only take a firm stance on this issue, but be able to get something passed through the laws that will be effective and immediate. Thank you.